In a world where funding is limited and safety needs are numerous, we must band together to protect our road users. This fall, SLOCOG is calling on traffic safety champions to change the world.
Part of the goal of what we're trying to achieve tonight is to have an annual regional level discussion on road safety. And the work you all do in your local and traffic and circulation committees, it really matters.
Creating safe transportation relies on everyone, from users to professionals in a wide variety of fields.
As part of our Traffic Champions program, we provide the media toolkits and we provide resources, webinars and informational sessions for individual citizens and anyone to be a part of the solution.
So it's thinking about more than just engineering. And as a transportation engineer, I get very excited to say, wow, what can I keep learning from other people about how to improve what we're doing? So that's another positive evolution that I've seen. And I think it's evidence here tonight, all the different perspectives that people are bringing.
This public feedback allows us to really understand what is not in the data. So people actually putting the near misses, we want to be proactive in our approach.
I love the road to zero, but I also think it's a road to awareness. The awareness of that we are in a new day and time where we've got to be thinking about each other and those that we're sharing the road with.
Safe solutions and greater education can be advocated for by any of us and will help us reach our target of 0 traffic fatalities or serious injuries by 2050.
And so as I heard the manager of the bike kitchen describe, even if this person doesn't bike after the class is over, if they're driving or walking or riding in a car, they know what it's like to be on a bike. And so that's just a perfect example of how it's just taken a champion and a person with an understanding of a funding stream to create something out of nothing.
We partnered with over 300 local, state, and regional public entities. And so we fund education and enforcement programs. Our director wanted to focus more on the cultural shift in traffic safety.
We're working with SLOCOG to produce the World Day of Remembrance. For us, it also is an opportunity to really raise awareness on how we can be a safer community.
We really want to get the community's feedback on where they see are some potential safety concerns.
But I encourage everybody in our club to take bicycle safety classes. The one that Bike Slope County offers is the one that I recommend highly to everybody.
Areas of focus include speed reduction.
I think there's been improvement in how we judge success of a road. And I think it used to always be, how fast does it move a car? How many lanes can we add to get those cars where they need to be faster? And I do think that has been changing. We're recognizing that there's a value for pedestrians and bicycles to move safely, that there's a huge public health benefit.
But make no mistake, the highway speed needs to be reduced, and that's what I'm asking for in my petition.
Impaired and distracted driving.
So we see a lot of stuff, and unfortunately it's the distracted driving is pretty serious. Our primary cause of collisions typically is going to be like failures to yield. The one today, car pulled out in front of a motorcycle, that would fall into that category. Second to that is speed, and then for us, third would be alcohol impairment, alcohol or drug impairment.
I will assess everything from the individual who's not paying attention and runs through a crosswalk and hits a pedestrian to somebody who is on their 3rd or 4th DUI who we're going to prosecute for actually a murder because they collided with somebody and they killed them.
Vulnerable road users.
I'll refocus my research a little bit into vulnerable road users, and some folks don't like that term. I'm actually okay with that. People are vulnerable when they're on the road. They might be vulnerable because the cars are going too fast, or for whatever reason they don't have that protection of a car around them. And then the other thing that matters is that what kind of vulnerable road users you have. If you have pedestrians, they might be in there longer. The bicyclists might be in and out of that area quickly. So there is some of those factors that come into play.
So if you're to look at any particular vehicular homicide, we have a significant number of vehicle versus pedestrian. We have a significant number of vehicle versus cyclist and other alternative means, as well as sort of vehicle on vehicle.
Motorcyclists.
I ride a motorcycle for work every day, so I have a different perspective. It's actually very similar to what a lot of bike riders will see. It's just we typically can obviously go a lot faster, but the risks and dangers are the same. The margin of error is razor thin because it just takes one little thing.
Animals.
I'd say road mortality is also a pretty solvable problem. I mean, not in all cases, but definitely we see where the wildlife exclusion fencing can reduce wildlife vehicle collisions by 80 to 90%. There is definitely some momentum behind getting more crossing structures out there.
I'm representing Cambrian residents who have tried without success to make Highway 1 through our small town a safer place for wildlife and motorists. For myself, I drag dead wildlife off the highway. We have a terrible problem there. Dead fawns, bobcats, young mountain lion was killed early this year, families of raccoons, etc.
And more.
Getting into public transit here in San Luis Obispo, I know myself, Jeff, Marlene, Andy, and some others are really trying to do a lot to help San Luis Obispo get to what they say they want within a pretty short time frame. We want 12% mode share, but we're going to have much more frequent service. We're going to have to make sure that buses are serving the workplaces that need it. We're going to actively market these services, and it's going to be hard, but I think it's really critical work that needs to be done.
The service that we provide is mainly inter-facility transports, and especially with our area not having a trauma center, a lot of the serious injuries, and we could go down a list of things you've seen in the news over the last few years, we've flown a large percentage of those to take them to facilities that they need to have for higher care.
Part of our work is, John mentioned earlier, getting the grant that's going to do even more of these, is doing these walk audits. So what these tools are designed to do are to help give you a framework to think about in your community on the roads that you're concerned about, of helping you identify what are the concerns that you're really experiencing, what are the places that we want to help address safety, and where do people actually want to go.
Hopefully, we can think of traffic as something preventable, collisions that we can prevent, and act like that.
Striving for zero can give us the motivation to make some of the trade-offs, evaluate projects differently, as we heard earlier.
The road to zero.